Can't find love? That day is over. With just 8 numbers, we can reveal all your secrets to sex and love. We call it Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. Find out the secret to your heart at secretsofbirthdays.com.
Good morning, it's Tuesday, and Sensei says today you may feel uncomfortable in your own skin. But don't worry, we're in the final 24 hours of Mars retrograde and we are ready to launch the new you. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Tuesday Namaste Today. Welcome to Namaste Today, a spiritual way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, stepº7. Namaste, my friend, and welcome to Tuesday. Well, today might be hot, humid, uncomfortable in your own skin. That's because we're in the last 24 hours of what we call a Mars retrograde. Everyone is launching a new Mego, which is an ego based on me. They're all based on me, right? And in that sense, you might be a little cranky as we hold out 24 more hours. So I'll be talking about in today's Tea Talk about that. But first, let's take a look at the zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Tuesday, June 28, 2016. Well, looking at the 5-day mood cast, tomorrow Mars does go direct, but I think you're going to feel stubborn and hung up. Thursday, things get going, and Friday will be sunny and quite productive. But today, it's humid with a chance of showers. And by showers, I mean maybe a brief release or maybe a small cry. The Great Human Walk has now reached step 7, Cancer. That is I sense, and that's also self-compassion. I think that's why we might cry. Our ruling channel today is the number 7, and our ruling planet today is the planet Neptune. So psychic awareness is high today. Now looking at our emotional focus, we're overcoming emotional weakness today. That's because the moon is in Act 3 of Aries, and it's crossing over Uranus. So we'll be emotionally challenged. That's also a reason for the showers. And our mental focus today is we are impatient, and we're mindful of our ego. We're at step 27 Gemini, and I think our mind is causing part of the jumpiness because our mind is jumping to conclusions and maybe not taking that time and space. And that brings me to today's new segment, our tea topic. And our tea topic today is going to deal with Mars going direct. So let's have some tea, shall we? Hello, friend. Welcome to today's tea talk. And I think tea is very healthy culturally to sit down and kind of sip on something in your life and think about something. And that's what I'm doing in this little segment, sharing a little bit of my life. And today's tea topic deals with Mars going direct. Mars goes direct tomorrow. Mars is our ego energy, and Mars has been retrograde for nearly 6 weeks. Nearly 6 weeks. So we've been reconstructing a new ego, and I've been talking about this. And I've been reflecting in my life about this, and I've seen it's true, and I've actually realized it's even deeper than that. This new ego that goes live tomorrow, officially, for me, is the first ego that doesn't deal with survival. This is my first not freaking out ego. This is my first ego where I'm not worried about being alive or doing something stupid. You know what I mean? Like, of course I'm always mindful not to do stupid things, okay? But I've been pretty much my whole life worried about doing something stupid. And that comes from a past life, I think, karma, honestly. And, really, I think, this has to do with the transits of Saturn for all the astro nerds out there. Saturn was in Scorpio in the 80s, and Saturn was in Scorpio just recently. It's now in Sagittarius. But I think with Pluto also in Scorpio in the 80s, many of us were very wounded in the 80s, and we created this ego based on survival. And it was very black and white. And the whole, in fact, the whole nuclear Cold War threat was very black and white and survival, and that undertone fear survival there. And I think we all built egos, and we defined what strength was in that energy. And now with the Mars retrograde, we're redefining what strength is. And we're seeing, I think, very much so with no judgment, Donald Trump very much is the ego we have all been living with. We have all been living with that sort of, that approach. I honestly think Hillary Clinton is also the same male ego's response to what we've been through. I mean, we'll see if they change. I mean, they're going through the Mars retrograde now too, so it'll be interesting to see when Mars goes direct how their energy shifts. For me, I know for myself that with my childhood and everything, I emotionally wasn't, I just wasn't really well coped. I didn't really know how to cope with my emotions, and I'm very, very sensitive as I look back now. And so my ego was like drive, 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 like always driving. And like literally I realized that, you know, for me, I've been putting down this last ego for a whole year. In fact, in January, I literally did not know where to move, where to go, what to do. I was literally kind of lost in my own town, kind of wandering around, not knowing where to settle down, not knowing what to do. And I would tell people, like, I always know what to do. I can't believe I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a step 9, you know, like step 18, isn't I? But I really didn't. And now, as I see, is like, it took, first of all, because I'm so strong, and that's a credit to myself and also a problem. Because I'm so strong, that's how long it took to take down the bull. Like 45 arrows at me. Finally, just like, you know. And literally, just ironically, I don't know if you guys have kept up with the story, but it's like, I don't know where I'm going to do the next Love Fest. I'm not sure where I was going to move. Well, long story short, I ended up deciding to settle right back here in Huntington Beach, California. Like I settled right back where I started, and I've opened up offices in Irvine. And that's because that's what my heart always wanted. But I share all this with you because, you know, look back in the last 6 weeks, you know, we're all changing an ego, and I literally noticed that I resisted and resisted, and that's the nature of the ego, is to resist the pain, to resist the fear, to resist all the hard stuff. And it's like, when you're trying to change your ego, that very thing that makes you strong is now in the way. And that's what's so effing hard about it, because you're just trying to be strong, not an asshole, you know what I mean? Like, but it was difficult, and I'll share more about this in the future. But, you know, you might share, you know, how you might share with everyone. Thanks to everyone for leaving comments at seriousjoy.tv. and sharing with you what your observations were with yesterday's topic. I look forward to reading your shares about today's topic. And now I'm going to transition into the megascope, where I channel a scope for you from my guides, and I have to shift gears and take 3 breaths. Take a sip of tea. Okay, so actually it's a very delicate day. It's a very sensitive day, and really Spirit rules the day today. And what came up first was just that people's feelings are going to be very sensitive, but that sensitivity is not to overreact. That sensitivity is actually just the opposite, to not overreact. In other words, everyone today, you can look, you know, be careful how you emotionally react to yourself, because your sensitivity really is going to allow you to respond perfectly to yourself. You know exactly what you're emotionally looking for today, and today you can just let yourself get it, okay? So the sensitivity is not sensitivity to feel like a baby, but sensitivity to sense out what you're looking for and what you want to feel next. And that's really what this transit is. Despite the Mars retrograde and it going direct, Mars now going direct is, you know, as I feel it in spirit, is really this new male, you know, the new Mars energy after survival is thrival, and how we thrive. And how we thrive turns into how well we feel. So I think the basic instincts of the new ego is not to survive, but to feel good. And today, you're going to sense how to feel good and sense that out. All right. So I have some steps for you to take away with yourself. And boy, it got bright here halfway through the take. So that's just the sun. It's going back and forth between clouds. Step 1. Today, connect and feel to your inner strength. Feel your strength today. Feel it, you know what it feels like, and connect to it. Step 2. Listen for your cues today. Your cues of how to find an easier way to do it, a more effortless way to do it. So listen for your cues of an easier path. And step 3, take the first step forward, whatever it is you need today. So don't think about the whole project. Don't think about the whole thing. Just take the first step forward you can emotionally handle. Okay, friends. Well, for those who watched over my personal Sensei network, today we're going to give you a pep talk on Emotional Independence Day. And by Emotional Independence Day, I'm referring to July 4th, which is going to be an emotional holiday and a new moon. We'll talk about that. And in your eye candy at 3 o'clock, I'm going to talk about what the Sun-Pluto opposition means for you. So we're on countdown to kind of overcoming old emotional stuff. I'll talk about what that is for you. For everyone else, please come on down to SeriousJoy.tv, and I'd love for you to share your comments and what you think, especially what you're thinking about over tea. And I'll see you tomorrow with more. Until then, remember, I love you, and live, love, be.